Okay, so just get yourself ready for your restorative practice. So we're just creating a little shrine of peacefulness and comfort and quietness. So make sure that you feel warm, to have blankets to cover yourself over if you think you might be cold. And then have a blanket for underneath your head, a blanket for underneath your knees, and a couple of blocks underneath your feet. So we're just going to do a sequence to aim to combat fatigue, because it's that time of year, isn't it? It just feels like the weather's all over the place. It's kind of draining, isn't it? So just allow yourself to release down onto the floor for our basic relaxation pose. So get yourself comfortable. If you can cover your eyes, then do, so that you can create a little darkness. And then just allow yourself to release into the ground. Let go of the muscles. Unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs. Just allowing yourself to quietly release into the floor. Soften your jaw by drawing the lower teeth away from the upper teeth. Soften your tongue and your throat. Just listen to the sound of the breath. Just allowing the body to surrender into the floor, unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs. Observe how your body makes contact with the ground and the bolsters and the blankets and the blocks. Just observing that feeling of energetic lightness that radiates out from the bones when you let go of the muscles. Consciously draw your focus into your feet, into the soles of the feet, so that the skin and the flesh tingles with consciousness, letting go of any tension and relaxing the underside of the foot. Draw your attention into the tops of the feet, and again consciously relax the tops of the feet. Draw your attention into the shins and soften the skin around the shins. Softening the skin and the muscle and the bones. And consciously relax the shins, relaxing up into the knees and relaxing up into the fronts of the thighs, releasing the thighs to sink into the backs of the thighs. Draw your attention into your thighs and allow them to relax into the backs of the legs, so that the whole of the leg becomes heavy on the floor. Draw your attention into the abdomen and the pelvis, and then consciously relax the muscles around the pelvis and around the tops of the legs. Consciously relaxing the pelvis and the abdomen. Bringing your focus into the chest and the shoulders. Letting go around the chest and the abdomen and the shoulders, and then drawing your attention into the arms, letting your arms relax deeply into the floor. Relaxing the shoulders and the upper arms and the forearms. And then relax your neck and the skin around the face, allowing the face to wear a completely neutral expression. Softening the skin around the face and the skull. And then allow yourself to completely relax into the floor. basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. Just allowing the body to fill up with energetic lightness, making the tips of the toes and the palms of the hand tingle with consciousness. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wriggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and then bring your feet onto the bolster. Have your feet apart and your knees together, just resting your back into the floor. And then gently roll onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg. Just come up into a seated position, just sitting in cross legs for a moment. Just observe how just that simple pose just brings your energy back into a more manageable level. So we're going to do the mountain brook pose. So unfold your blanket. So it's this kind of quarter fold, and then just fold it down long ways. So you've got this kind of longer, slightly kind of fat blanket, and that's just going to go in your shoulders. We're going to stay with the bolster underneath the knees, but you don't need the blocks underneath your feet. So you're just going to keep the knees on the bolster, or the bolster underneath your knees, and then this folded blanket is going to come into the shoulder blade region. So that's important. And then you're just going to rest your arms over your head like this. So it's the mountain brook pose. This is lovely. It's a really good way to restore your energy. So again, just covering yourself up for warmth if you feel like you might need it. And then just the folded blanket in your knees. You cover your eyes again. And then just rest your arms on the floor over your head. So just feel how the armpit chest opens. If there's discomfort in keeping your arms over your head, you can either put your arms just to the side of the body or just put blocks underneath your hands just to raise up the floor. So as you know, we'll just I'll keep quiet as we work into these other poses, just to give you the opportunity to relax rather than feeling that you have to listen. Okay, bring your arms to the sides of the body. Just release the eye covering, bend your knees, and then just roll yourself off the left. And then come into cross legs, just again observing how your energy changes with each pose, how the energy around the chest and the shoulders really becomes lifted through these simple relaxation poses. And then unfold your blanket so that it's a long fold like this, and then just bring it onto the floor. And then I want you to fold it down the center, and then fold it down the center again, so that you're just creating a little mini bolster for your back. So this is the spine lengthening pose. It's really lovely, this one. So again, you keep your bolster where it is. That's going to go underneath your knees. So you don't want to sit right on top of the bolster, on top of the folded blanket. You want to just sit, you want to kind of lift the chest and then lengthen yourself along the folded blanket, and then get the end of it and roll it up like a Swiss roll. And then if you sit in the right place with the folded blanket in your back, you get this sensation of elevation or elongation of the spine, elongation rather than elevation. So you're lengthening along the blanket, and then just experiment with where you put your bolster in your knees. I find that if you bring the bolster into the backs of the calves and let the feet just float in the air a little, the sensation of spinal elongation feels more pronounced. So again, another really good way of combating fatigue. Okay, when you're ready, just gently wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, just remove the covering from your eyes if you're using it, and then just gently roll onto your side, and then sit yourself up. Again, just sit in cross legs, feeling as though the spine has grown a little. Okay, so we're just gonna just unfold the blanket and just fold it up like a traditional pillow kind of shape, and then bring your bolster into a wall, and then you might want to, if you've got a belt handy, you might want to tie your legs together a little. So you just get your belt and just make it into a loop, and then we're going to have our legs up the wall. So just sit yourself on the bolster, and then roll over so that your feet are up in the air, just against the wall. Again, you can so you've just got the belt just loosely around your legs to help just keep the legs together without having to exert too much effort. Just cover yourself over again. Again, if you can cover your eyes, all the better. And then just let your arms rest over your head. So you might want to support your back a little more by just moving the bolster up your back a little. Just rest your arms on either on the floor over your head, or you can bring the hands into the side ribs. Just breathe even and deep inhalations and exhalations, listening to the breath. Filling the lungs and emptying them, just taking deep conscious inhalations and exhalations. Breathing evenly into both lungs, breathing evenly out of both lungs. Okay, just to bring yourself out of the pose, just bend your knees and just loosen the belt. If you have the belt around your knees, just slide the belt off, and then gently roll yourself back onto the floor, just coming back up into the seated position, just sitting in cross legs for a moment. And then for the last couple of minutes, just come back into your basic relaxation pose, just the pose that we started off with. Bolster underneath your knees. You don't need anything underneath your feet this time if you don't want it. And just bring yourself back down into this comforting pose of Shavasana, basic relaxation pose. Just allowing the body to completely flop into the floor. Letting go of the muscles of the arms and the legs. Observing that feeling of energetic lightness that radiates out from the bones and into the muscles, into the organs, into the flesh and the skin. That feeling of energetic lightness filling the body down into the tips of the toes, into the tips of the fingers, and up into the top of the head. Using your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute it. basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. Bring yourself back into this pose of Shavasana. And then bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, letting your back just rest into the floor for a moment. Just have the knees together, the feet apart, just applying a little gentle pressure into the back. And then gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, stretch out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just a final cross legs with hands in the masti, just a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy you have released through your practice this morning, this afternoon even. A good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the relaxation poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to make contact with your chest, lifting your chest up to meet your chin, spending a little time just acknowledging the positive energy you've created inside. And then sending some of that positive energy out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards, index finger and tip of the thumb in contact, stretching the other fingers away from the palm of the hand. Just a simple gesture of peacefulness and wisdom. And when you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you have really restored your energy, giving yourself good positive energy to put into your evening. So thank you very much for joining me.